Hey, this is Darrell Stern, your digital marketing Jedi, coming at you live from Denver, Colorado, with a very special webinar, Reverse Engineering Influence. Okay, so have we all heard this term, influencer? Are we all sitting there going, how can I get this influence? So we're going to jump in right away, and I'm going to teach you guys how to start the process of reverse engineering influence, how to become an influencer, how to have influence. Now, I have always said, I don't want to have any influence over anybody. Like, I don't see myself as some great example to have influence, but I do love to teach, and I do love to share my knowledge with the world and my gifts with the world, which to me is where true influence comes from. It comes from sharing your gifts. So first thing I want to do is I have a little poll set up, and I'm going to actually share this with you guys. I've got it. I'm going to share it with you guys. Okay. So I've got a little poll going up right now. And what it asked is, how do you create influence? And I want you to take a moment and just go over to the poll. And I see one answer. I don't know yet, right? Okay, and that's fine. I would rather have people come into these webinars and these presentations that I do and say, look, I don't know. That's why I'm here. Show me, teach me. And that's perfectly fine. So here's the first thing that I want to talk to you about. Also, so that you know, there is a handout too that you can go to handouts and you can click download anytime during this presentation and download my little Stern Storming digital marketing cheat sheet we can take with you. And then also I want to put on here my email address, which is Darrell@stern.marketing. If you guys want to take a look at that. And you can email me after the presentation, any other questions or anything further that you want to know. So influence and the term influencer actually kind of happened by accident. And there have been influencers around long before the internet, okay? Tony Robbins had influence. Abraham Lincoln, big influencer, right? Oprah Winfrey had huge influence. If you remember back in the day, during the heyday of the Oprah Winfrey Show, Oprah did a show where she talked about beef and cattle and how it wasn't so good to eat beef. And the U.S., the U.S. Department of Agriculture, or the beef, consortium, union, whatever, of beef people in the United States had a holy crap fit. They were like, oh my gosh, it's going to be the end of the beef industry. Like, Oprah, you can't say that. You can't say don't eat meat, or don't eat beef. Like, this is a big part of our economy and our well-being. So that type of influence means that I am in a position, right? You are in a position as an influencer that when you would give your advice and when you would give your opinion on something, Oprah has a big, huge thing like her book club, right? She says, hey guys, this week, read this book. And then the idea is that everybody then goes and reads that book because they're following her and they respect and appreciate her opinion. So let's break that down. Okay, let's say we're at square one. And we're saying, okay, we don't have any of this influence. We don't have anything out there that can demonstrate what we do and how we do it. So I'm going to teach you a methodology to start growing your own influence, okay? Using some tools that are on your phone, that are on the web, that don't cost any money really to do, which are YouTube and the ability to start a blog, okay? So first thing I want you to do before we get started, though, is to write down, and you can go in the chat room and start putting some of these things in, 10 things that you can teach or that you can demonstrate to someone else. In other words, all of us know something. All of us have gifts to the world. All of us know something, right? We're experts at something. We mic drop at something. There's things that we know about. So I want you to type in the chat room and just simply tell me 10 things or a few things, 3 things that you know you can teach or that you can demonstrate. And if you're stumped by that question, right? If you're stumped by that question and you don't really know, and you're like, kind of like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about, Darrell? Like, how do I do that? Like, how would I create this influence? What can I teach and demonstrate? This is something that I do help you with in what I call Stern Storming sessions, which is where we go back through your life and we discover together all those amazing gifts that you have that you can give the world. So I'm going to jump right into how to create this type of influence. So I'm going to share my screen, which is right over here. Okay, here we go. So this is Saul's Auto Tech. This is a local auto mechanic here in Denver, Colorado. He fixes cars. My theory on creating influence, my philosophy that I've actually proven works over and over and over again, is to literally teach and demonstrate those things that you know how to do, right? Now, we'll get into more specifics when you do a one-on-one storming session with me in terms of, okay, like, how does this all gear towards a business? What is the business model? What am I selling, right? Now, in Saul's case, he's an auto mechanic. He runs an auto mechanic shop. He's selling car repair. So we already have a business model already set up. If you don't even have that, then this might seem a little bit even more confusing because, hey, business is business. A business is a service, listen to this, that fulfills a need that you see in the audience, in the world, right? In the audience and the people that are around you. Take Jim Parson, the guy who created Priceline. He was at the airport one day. He saw all these people at the ticket counter going, oh my God, I can't check out. Like, I can't get my flight changed. I can't get my ticket. And they're all yelling and screaming at the counter. And he came along and said, there must be a way to fulfill this need to make customer service at an airport better. He invented the kiosk, the check-in portal that's all electronic now, where you scan your card, you get your ticket without all that mess and that fuss, which then turned into Priceline. We can check in online and all this other kind of stuff, right? So his service fulfilled that need. So let's jump back into this influence thing. This is Saul's Auto Tech. Saul has over 250 YouTube videos of himself teaching what he knows how to do. And you can tell by these topics that these were created from Stern storming sessions. So here's one about the Volvo hood and safety features that we can install in your Denver car, winter tires, your BMW, and what you can do with that, all kinds of different things. The secret that I want you guys to start doing that I can help you with in my $7 a month Stern Marketing Mastermind, which I'll tell you about in a bit, is taking these videos, making videos of yourself, simply demonstrating what you do, teaching what you know, right? And then take the videos and transcribe them, okay? Have them transcribed. A great service for that is called Rev, REV.com. Rev.com is a really cool service to get these videos transcribed. Next, you're going to need a blog, right? You're going to need a blog, which is usually driven by something called WordPress. You can also do blogs on services like Squarespace. And I don't like Wix or Weebly, like I wouldn't recommend those, but Squarespace is okay too, especially if you don't know much about website design. So I want to show you a really, really successful blog, okay? This is a really, really successful blog. As you go deeper into the level of, okay, how do I reverse engineer influence? A big thing to do is to go out there and research who are the influencers in your field, right? Who are the top business coaches, that teach things and that have clients in your area of expertise? And what are they talking about? What material of theirs has gone viral or semi-viral, right? So in the case of Saul, we again wanted to reverse engineer influence. So we looked at what kind of cars do people drive in Colorado. A lot of people drive Jeeps. And it just so happens that there's a big defect with Jeeps. It's called the Jeep death wobble. Jeeps have a problem with their engineering where if you don't maintain them, the wheels will wobble, they'll fly off the road. You can die from driving a Jeep. And if you look on YouTube, which I'll do in a second for you guys, there's a lot of videos with hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views on this topic. So here's what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to actually write it in the chat room here. The story has never been told in your voice. In other words, a lot of people say, well, hasn't that been done before? And somebody else already does that. Well, you haven't done it yet, right? You haven't added your sense and your opinion and your teachings and your knowledge to the world. And that is what you must do to create influence. So again, here's this video. It has been transcribed. And then when we're talking about SEO, search engine optimization, right, which is another cool topic that I talk about in terms of influence. Now, a lot of people think influence is having a lot of followers on Instagram or having a lot of followers on, let's say, Twitter or something like that, or on a Facebook page. And I say, look, influence can also be driven by your SEO, and you are your SEO, your search engine optimization. How? Because when you're speaking and teaching along the topic that you're teaching at, you're always naturally saying certain keywords and certain key phrases. So I want you to pay close attention to the blue bolded text in here. This one says suspension systems. When I click on that, it goes to another video blog that we did, and we did 250 of these, right? This is going to a landing page about the best suspension upgrade repair service in Greenwood Village. Okay. If I click on another one about suspension, it's going to another blog and another video about where he's talking about suspension. Sometimes we might talk about something specific. Zerk fittings. Okay, there's a particular brand of fittings that go into the suspension system. Okay, look, now we're on a different blog, and we're going ball and socket. Okay, what am I talking about in terms of influence? You might have heard this expression. You got to write the book on your topic. Or you might have thought of somebody who is a big influencer and you say, he or she wrote the book on that. Tony Robbins, right? He wrote the book on personal development, right? He wrote the book on it. I mean, he literally has written books about it, too. So here's the next part. YouTube is so powerful, and I highly recommend that all of you guys start a YouTube channel. This particular video that I've been talking about that says we can fix the Jeep death wobble in Denver and Greenwood Village, Colorado with a lifetime guarantee has had over the past couple of years 173,472 views, right, on YouTube, and it has led directly to over $7.8 million in Jeep repairs in sales. Okay, so have you come up with anything? Have you come up with those things that you can teach and demonstrate, right? What type of business do you want to be in? What is your business model, right? Let's make sure the confusing thing and the difficult thing about this and the way we get frustrated. Well, no one's paying attention to me and our social media, we just go right to it and we start putzing around in there. Stop, okay? Do some research. Do some research into who you are, what you stand for, what are your ethics and your philosophies, what do you believe, what do you know, what can you teach, what can you demonstrate. These are the things that we can develop in a storming strategy session where you will come out of that with up to 50 or 100 different titles for your video blogging that can then go out all over the world. So let's take a look at the almighty Facebook for a second. And Facebook and videos, right? Here is Saul with literally his 250 videos uploaded right into his Facebook page. Now I'm going to show you how these are posted. They have all kinds of special effects. Saul is great at talking about the cars. Let's see if you guys can hear this.
The Jeep Wrangler behind me weighs just over 5,200 pounds. The engine that's in it makes just over 200 horsepower.
There you go. I mean, he goes on and on and on about how great these are. And look at what I'm doing. I'm actually putting the entire blog, all that written out content, into the Facebook post. I want people to be able to read and see, again, that Saul wrote the book on this. Then, of course, we have our hashtags and all the other things that optimize his stuff. Here's the pudding. Okay, you ready for the pudding? Another thing about influence that can help drive you forward in a faster way is to go after what we would call the high ticket items and the low hanging fruit. What do I mean by that? So there are luxury cars, Bentleys, Lamborghinis, Maseratis, right? These are the low hanging fruit because not too many people drive them, right? So there's less competition in terms of ranking for these specialty vehicles to repair them. But also they are high ticket items. In other words, fixing a Bentley or a Rolls Royce or a Lamborghini can cost $20,000, and the owner of a Lamborghini investing in that type of vehicle will pay that amount, right? So one video, right, with 173,000 views had led to $7.8 million in sales, but each sale can be upwards of $20,000. See where I'm going with this? We're talking about step-by-step reverse engineering influence. Now, I've been working with Saul for 4 years. This is 4 years of content, 4 years into his YouTube channel. And I will show you inside of here how many videos we have. I mean, literally this goes on and on and on and on and on, right? And some of these videos have 620 views, 36 views, 19 views, and then some of them go all the way up and have tens of thousands of views. We didn't hit it out of the park every single time that we did a video, but we were consistent about it. We're always putting out this content over and over and over and over again. So there is 4 years of work blowing up a YouTube channel, which also has blown up this incredible blog where all of these videos on and on and on and on have all been transcribed, have all been linked together. Okay. So I hope that gives you a start, right, as to how this kind of influence would work. I'm going to stop my screen sharing for a second, and I'm going to pull up some other pages that I want to share with you guys and some other links. So I would love to know if you guys, how ready you guys are to grow your influence. So I am going to put into here, into the chat room over here, my 30-minute link to schedule a 30-minute Stern Storming with you. Okay. You can also get a complimentary audit of all of your social media and what you're doing right now on the web, so I can take a look, see what's going on with it, see what we need to do. And that is available to you on this link that I'm going to put over here. And if you want to jump right in today, if you're like, Darrell, I want to get in on this. I want to learn how to do this. I want to get going. I want to do this right. I actually run a mastermind group that is my $7 a month, literally $7 a month mastermind group. And that link is right here. So I put my email address into the chat. You guys have the handout. You filled out the poll. I hope to see you again on the other side of this webinar. Stay tuned. There will be more webinars on SEO, on YouTube marketing, on Instagram, on all different kinds of other topics. This is just the beginning of a whole new series of webinars that I'm going to be putting out. My name is Darrell Stern. I'm your digital marketing Jedi. I would love to help you grow your influence by reverse engineering the path and the progress, right, that you need to make on that, the consistency and persistence, all the way back to step one. Everyone, Gary Vee actually said this, everyone starts at zero, right? Every new Instagram account or Twitter account or Facebook page or website, right, has zero influence. That's it. It's where do we go from there? 10, 20 turns into 40, turns into 80, compound interest, 1,000, 2,000, 20,000, 50,000, 200,000 followers, 200,000 views, right? And then up into the millions. Building influence is a process. I want you to wake up every day knowing and understanding that you are, yes, you are a gift to the world, and the world needs your gifts, right? What you can teach, what you know, and you can demonstrate is a gift to the world. So I'm Darrell Stern. I can't wait to go Stern Storming with you. This was a quick webinar. I just wanted to get in here, teach you guys the basics of reverse engineering your influence. I'll be back with more webinars. Stay tuned on my Facebook page and Twitter and all those other different platforms. Do follow me. Do connect with me on LinkedIn. I am everywhere at Darrell Stern. That is my name. You can also follow Stern Storming all over the web. Just Google that. And if you want to see a lot of really great videos, just search for Get Stern in YouTube. Search for that hashtag, and you'll be able to see all kinds of other videos. So love you guys. If you have any questions, I'm going to leave the session open for about another 45 seconds. If you have a question, just put it in the chat. I would love to get a conversation started with you. And I can't wait for you within the next 4 years to grow massive influence. It is possible. You just got to put your mind to it, and you got to tap into yourself and understand that you are a gift to the world. And just remember too, You don't get anywhere in life, right, without consistency and persistence. So do or do not. There is no try. I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks.